Chrysler's building is going to be a monument to everything that is in his system. It's going to be a monument to machine-made gorgeousness, to the elegance of the materials that make up automobiles, and also to the Art Deco extravagance of the jazz era that is starting all around them in New York and in which they are building. So, what happens? The people in New York get ahead. They actually move ahead. And they're building faster than the Chrysler building. This is a good thing, says Walter Chrysler. And he comes to his architect and he says, God damn it, these people are not going to be taller than us. What are we going to do about it? And they come up with a scheme, which they do not announce, of course. They wait for the people at Manhattan Bank to make the announcement of the day they're going to finish their building. Stupid. Never tell your enemy what you're going to do if you don't know what they're going to do next. So secretly, Walter Chrysler and William Van Allen cooked up the top of the Chrysler building. And inside all of that stainless steel extravaganza, they assembled the spire in the building. They lifted it up in pieces along the side of the building so no one could tell what it was, and then bolted them all together inside the tower before they actually finished all the tower floors. So they had that empty space at the top. And then, and we're taking a little poetic license, then, on the day that the people in the Bank of New York were going to have their grand opening, Walter Chrysler borrowed from his friends in the theater business, because he was also a Broadway producer, lots and lots of theater lights. And on the evening that they were going to top out the Manhattan Bank and have a fireworks show, Walter Chrysler and his men turned all the Klieg lights onto the top of the Chrysler building, which is made of what? Aluminum. And what happens when you shine a bright light on aluminum? It's shiny. You suddenly have the biggest Roman candle in the world. And they winched into place, in the period of less than an hour, the spire, which was another 100 feet tall. Not 5, not 10, 100 feet tall. So his building went from 924 feet to 1,047. Those people in New York at the Bank of New York are watching this happen. They are watching their own humiliation from the top of their building. And Walter Chrysler was able to claim the spot of the tallest building in the world. And Saarinen said, you know, there might be another way. And right here in Chicago, Illinois, he proposed another way. Correct. Crow Island Elementary School. Now, do you see actual children there in the front porch? Yes. And do you notice they're actually half the height almost, or a third of the height of the building? Saarinen's principal idea in this building is that children are people too. It was a radical idea at its time, that children were people. And I don't want to give all the credit to Saarinen. This was also a crusading grade school principal and school district superintendent that were progressive educators and who asked him to give a vision to the idea that children were people, and so he did, and created a plan that had never been used for a school before, that went horizontally instead of vertically. Why? To tie the school into the landscape, to make the school a part of the nature around it. Look at that school reach out and grab that driveway. Do you see that? Look at those fingers out into the landscape. Do you see every classroom is fingering its way out into the landscape? It's so when they actually build the classrooms, the children can look out and see that landscape. They can see green. They can see a verdant environment that reminds them of the places that they play, that they're never far away from that. And it's okay to see that. Notice the furniture. Is it bolted down? No. Is it big? No. All custom made by the architect for the kids. Now, this is a school that went from first grade to 8th grade. And in every year that you went through the school, the furniture in your classroom got a little bigger.